Okay, good afternoon, my dear students of class 10 ICSE 2022. Today, in this short demonstration class, in the morning class, I had done the earlier what you call acid radicals, namely carbonate, sulfide, sulfide, uh, sulfate, and even nitrate. Okay. Now, in this class, I'll be doing the remaining acid radicals, namely nitrate and what you call chloride. Okay. So now I'm going to show you the screen. Okay, for the demonstration class. Now, okay. Now you can see the experimental setup, the lab setup. This is the biology lab of our school. Okay. So now the experiment which I want to demonstrate to you all just now is experiment number 12. Experiment number 12. If you look at a screen, you can see today's date, and if you look at experiment number 12 over there, experiment number 12. Okay, just see, experiment number 12 is there. Yeah, it is there. Experiment number 12, test for nitrate ion. To the sample, first I will add concentrated sulfuric acid and heat gently. Then after heating gently, a reddish brown gas will be given out. That is the first thing to perform. Again, to the same sample, nitrate sample, we add copper turnings and then we add Kong sulfuric acid and again heat gently. In this case, we get a dense brown fumes due to the evolution of nitrogen dioxide gas, which confirms the presence of nitrate in the sample. Now, besides these two tests, I will show you one more test which is called the Brown ring test. For class 10, the Brown ring test is not done in the practical lab by you all, but we have to learn in the theory because it is there in the chapter 7C, that is study of compounds nitric acid. And I have already taught you the Brown ring test in the theory lessons. Okay, now here we begin with the demonstration now. So now I have taken test tubes. I have taken test tubes containing zinc nitrate sample, containing zinc nitrate. Now to this test tube containing zinc nitrate, I am going to add concentrated sulfuric acid and then heat it gently. So what I will do is, I will use a test tube holder for this purpose. So I am going to add Kong sulfuric acid and then the Bunsen burner flame is ready. Okay, the Bunsen burner flame is ready. So I am going to add first Kong sulfuric acid. I think you can see, I'll add it over here. Okay. So I have added Kong sulfuric acid to this zinc nitrate sample, the sample containing nitrate ion, and I am going to heat it gently. Gentle heating, not continuous heating, gentle heating. Now the reaction has started. Okay, I think you can hear the decrepitating noise over here. Taking quite some time. It is reacting, it takes some time. Now fumes are coming out slowly. I think we should use lead also, no, sir? With lead it will come faster. Yeah, because of zinc. Fumes are coming out. You can see the fumes. Now I'll add copper turnings. I will add copper turnings to this test tube and continue heating. You can see brown fumes now. Brown fumes are coming now. See, dense brown fumes are coming now. Okay. I don't know whether you can see or not, but the fumes are brown in color. The fumes are brown in color. Okay. The room is very bright room, that's why it is difficult for us to see the color of the nitrogen dioxide gas, but it is this fume which you see, it is brown in color. Okay, fumes are nicely available. See na, sir? So you can see the test tube, even the clearer parts of the test tube, it has turned light brown in color. Okay, the clear parts. So this is the first test for nitrate ion, to identify nitrate ion in the given sample. Okay, so this is done. Now what I will do is, I will show you the brown ring test for the detection of nitrate ion in a given sample. Okay, now for the brown ring test, what I am going to do is, I am going to take the sample, the same sample, the zinc nitrate sample, and add water to it. I will add water to it and make a solution. I will make a solution and dissolve this zinc nitrate salt properly. Dissolve it properly. Dissolve it properly after shaking, vigorous shaking. Then I will add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution. Freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution. So where is ferrous sulfate? Which, oh, this one. Okay. So I will add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution slowly. This is the zinc nitrate salt solution. This one is freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution. So I am going to add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution slowly, little bit. Okay. Now after adding freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution, I must not shake the test tube. It is still clear solution. Okay, after the addition of ferrous sulfate. Now very slowly I will add concentrated sulfuric acid. Concentrated sulfuric acid by tilting the test tube. I will tilt the test tube and then I will add very slowly Kong sulfuric acid. I have added Kong sulfuric acid. I think you can see between the two liquids there is a junction. There is a brown ring. It is a very good observation. I think you can see this side. A brown ring is formed between the two liquids. So this confirms the presence of nitrate ion in the given sample solution. So experiment number 12 is also complete. This is experiment number 12, correct. Now I will move ahead to the next experiment, that is experiment number 13, test for chloride ion. Now for testing chloride ion, I will need sample, a chloride salt sample. So just only the chloride, sir, only the chloride, that is the second part. I will need the chloride salt sample. I will take the chloride salt sample in a test tube first. Chloride salt sample in a test tube, and to this chloride salt sample which I have taken, this is sodium chloride salt sample. To this I will add concentrated sulfuric acid and heat first. I will add concentrated sulfuric acid and heat first. I will add Kong sulfuric acid and heat first. Okay. And I need a litmus paper also. We need the same sample, sir. Okay. And I need, sir, what you call conc ammonium hydroxide solution also. So I will use a litmus paper. When the gas comes out, it must be tested with litmus paper. So I am making things ready over here. Okay, it's already ready. Okay, I have kept the litmus paper over here. Now, to this sodium chloride salt sample, I am going to add Kong sulfuric acid slowly. Kong sulfuric acid. And then put the test tube holder and warm it, heat it. Put the test tube holder and heat it. Sir, ammonium hydroxide is there, no sir? Ammonium hydroxide solution, concentrated. So I have added Kong sulfuric acid and heating the reaction mixture now. So we can see a colorless gas is coming out. A colorless gas. Was that sodium? That was zinc nitrate, no sir? Zinc nitrate. You can see it is coming reddish brown now. It is coming reddish brown. Okay. Never mind. I will reduce experiment once more. I need sodium chloride. Okay. I will use sodium chloride. I will use sodium chloride. Okay, sir. Now to sodium chloride, I will add first Kong sulfuric acid. Kong sulfuric acid I have added. Kong sulfuric acid is added. Okay. Now I will bring a litmus paper and keep it over here. Litmus paper turns, it turns red, you know. Okay. So litmus paper is turning red. The blue litmus paper is turning red. So this is the one of the tests for hydrogen chloride gas. Okay. Now if I bring a glass rod, dipped in Kong HCl, if I bring a glass rod dipped in Kong HCl near the gas, the Kong ammonium hydroxide near the gas, then definitely I am going to get dense white fumes. You can see the fumes will be dense. The gas is already escaped, but you can see the fumes. Lot of fumes are coming out. So this fumes is because of the formation of ammonium chloride. Okay. So this confirms the presence of chloride ion in the given sample. Okay, chloride ion in the given sample. Now the second part of the experiment is quite interesting, where if you see to the sample we are adding, what you call, have a look at the screen over there, experiment number 13. The second part over here, to the sample we are adding manganese dioxide and Kong sulfuric acid and then heating it. So I have already beforehand mixed this one, mixed the sample mixed with manganese dioxide. The sample is mixed with manganese dioxide, is already taken in a test tube. You can see manganese dioxide is black in color and the sample is sodium chloride. So the sample was sodium chloride. No? Sample was sodium chloride mixed with manganese dioxide. Now to this I am going to add, Kong sulfuric acid and then heat it gently. I am going to add Kong sulfuric acid and then I am going to heat it gently. Okay, gentle heating. Gentle heating is important. Okay, some acid touched my fingers, so I have to wash it immediately. Okay, so I need to wash my hand. Now to this I am going to add concentrated sulfuric acid. So I will add Kong sulfuric acid from the reagent bottle to this sample mixture containing sodium chloride and manganese dioxide. Okay. So it's added. I've added it. Now I'll warm this mixture. I'll heat it. I must heat it. So when I heat this, a greenish yellow colored gas will come out. See, it is overflowing, sir. The flame. This is a light greenish yellow colored flame is coming out. Okay, the camera is not so good, for that we cannot observe the color of the flame, but it is choking. It is not a good gas. Okay, it is slightly poisonous, but the gas is a greenish yellow colored gas. Okay, now that is the characteristics of chlorine gas. Now if I bring a blue litmus paper, near the gas, when the gas is coming out, it will turn red. See, it is turning red, and after some time the red color will become white. It will bleach it. It will remove the color. It will bleach the color. See, the color has become bleached. It has become whitish. Now, okay, the gas is chlorine gas. It is not a good gas to inhale. Okay, that was chlorine gas. This also turns starch iodide paper. The gas turns starch iodide paper. It turns starch iodide paper into blue black. See, it has turned blue black in color. The gas turns starch iodide paper blue black in color. So these were the test for the acid radicals. So just now I have shown you test for chloride ion, which is complete. Okay, now there is one more thing I want to show you regarding the third test. If you look at the screen over there, on your screen you can see there is one more test at the bottom over here, to the solution of the sample, sodium chloride sample solution, to the, this is not sodium chloride, sir, to the sodium chloride sample solution, sodium chloride. To the solution of the sample, we add silver nitrate solution. If you look at the screen, you can see to the solution of the sample, we add silver nitrate solution. When I will get a Kurdi white precipitate, which is insoluble in dilute nitric acid, but it is soluble in dilute ammonium hydroxide solution. So what I am going to do is, I am going to first make the solution, sodium chloride solution. This is the salt, solid salt. So I will take this sodium chloride salt, add water to it, and make a solution. After adding water. Okay, solution is ready. Now I will add to this silver nitrate solution, silver nitrate. See, it became a Kurdi white precipitate. A Kurdi white precipitate is formed. Now this Kurdi white precipitate, it is insoluble in nitric acid. That also I will test. If I put dilute nitric acid over here, it will not dissolve. It will not dissolve at all. It will not dissolve. It will not dissolve. But this Kurdi white precipitate, it is soluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. So I have taken a little bit of the precipitate, and now I will add ammonium hydroxide to it, and it will dissolve. This is concentrated. We can use concentrated also. So I am going to add ammonium hydroxide to it. It will dissolve. It will dissolve. Wait. Reducing in volume. I am adding ammonium hydroxide. I think there is concentrated, no sir? Concentrated ammonium hydroxide is here. Oh. Yeah, fresh one. So I'll use this one. So I'm going to add conc ammonium hydroxide solution directly from the reagent bottle, from this bottle. See, it dissolved, disappeared. No? It became a clear solution. So remember, this white precipitate which is formed, it is soluble in ammonium hydroxide solution. So this completes our test for acid radicals. So today we have completed the test for all the acid radicals. Okay. Which way, sir? Okay, done. So now in the next classes, chemistry practical demonstration classes, one more day I will give you and show you the use of universal indicator or pH indicator to find out the pH of various solutions, and there is one more test where that is experiment number, what do you call, 17, where there is a very important test to distinguish between cupric oxide, and manganese dioxide using concentrated hydrochloric acid. So this much for today. Now I would like to end my video here only, my dear boys. Okay, so have a nice day. Thank you so much.